Alright, last time, get a load of this. The party successfully routed the pirate menace, defeating or killing all that they came across, and saved the dock ward of Tenudo from pillage and looting and skirmishing by ending the lives of the shark captain and the dwarven first mate. The party received some explanation of dubious truth about what the pirates were after. Also, fortunately, the crab merchant the crab merchant Coricon was brought back to life, and it was learned that he was the owner of the shipment that the Algan Doomstrider Captain King, and by association Zoaz Ituusk, are tasked with safely delivering to Lux Nox. After this, the party wrapped up a few things before retiring to the inn, where they went over their future plans, and it was overheard that Zonrune moved the charity auction up to tomorrow, the day after the pirate attack. And also King promised to meet you on the morrow at Horizon's Gate. Which brings us to Xalia. Xalia, you've been in this warehouse for an unknown amount of time investigating the spear. You, who, overcome with curiosity with this weapon that you obtained from Captain Sarusi, stood behind at the warehouse until the evening. This wet weapon you've discovered since you spent all this time looking at it, and coupled with a great Arcana check to feel out the magic of this armament. It's powered by some sort of essence or being. There's some old and grand thing at work here. Spending all this time feeling the energies and trying to attune to the wavelengths to figure it out. You're rewarded with an imprint of an image of this grand sea serpent, this mess of fins and blue scales coiling through the ocean, this leviathan of a creature that dwells in the depths. It beckons you, pulling you beneath.
A friend.
Yeah. Pulling you beneath the water surface and dragging you below, submerging and sinking you into the dark trenches of the ocean, where even the bubbles of air from your lungs start to escape when a sharp knock, pop, 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 on the outside of the warehouse jars you back to the present and dry land.
Her very distinctly serpentine and fishy head just kind of snaps right toward, like, you can't see the intermediate motion.
At the door is the Doomstrider with a familiar honk headgear and a torso exposing garb. They're peering in, trying to form an opinion on you. Excuse me, citizen or traveler, whichever is appropriate. It's time to leave, curfew and all. They're kind of like hanging onto the door frame as they peer in on you.
Xalia makes a not aggressive but also not non-aggressive hiss.
They like look maybe like down the street or something. Like they look away from you for a moment and then they look back. For your safety, I would like to escort you to one of our many fine inns or your home if you have one. And they let go and they're standing in front of the door now.
Does she... let me check. Do I still have a second level spell slot? This is important. I don't, so she can't get her up the wall.
The Doomstrider... Oh, here. The Doomstrider walks in. He's like heading towards you now. The pirate attack on our fair docks this morning has emboldened the local ruffians. We're on a no tolerance detail until further notice. You see, it's for your safety.
I'm gonna give the same hiss, but slightly like more towards the non-aggressive side. I'm just gonna relax their body language a little bit.
Okay. Doomstrider is like you can sense that they're continually assessing you, trying to make sure that you are not a pirate or some other ruffian. They get up to about like 10 feet of you and just extend their hand. It's strong, muscly.
He will extend her cold, clammy slime hand.
The Doomstrider takes it, like winces, and then recovers their composure and leads you out into the dock area and more towards Tenuto proper. They probably would make conversation during this instead of just being awkward the entire time.
But they would just kind of stare at them.
Okay, and they're going to begin by saying, do you live here? Where is your home? Or do we need to take you to an inn, young person? I see. Okay.
She follows them, staring the entire way.
Alright, they meet up with another Dunestrider from Hollandis, and some brief conversation is exchanged. Just about patrols and pirates, and if they've spotted any particular ruffians. Seems to be nothing of consequence, or anything of like actual interest, just boring Dunestrider stuff. Then they mentioned, I'm going to take this one to the inn. You cover the rest of my patrol, please. And yeah, sure. And then come along with me, young fish creature. And then they lead you to, by sheer coincidence, the Scraggy Beard Inn, which everyone else is at. And whoa! Seems that this is actually the first inn that you get to when you are traveling from the dock ward to the rest of Tenuto.
They're just gonna immediately ditch the Dunes. Oh, fuck, I forgot the name.
Dunestrider.
Dunestrider, okay. Immediately ditch them, just walk straight up to the party, sit at the table, just flump. Collapse.
Alright. Well, here's the Scraggy Beard Inn, and then that also makes me remember that I need to load the rest of the game. The Dunestrider kind of like folds his arms. He's still a little confused, like outwardly, but satisfied that you are safe in this inn, and
Leah's going to improve minor illusion directly in his inn. Thank you, in the most cutesy little 5-year-old little girl voice.
Wonderful.
With heavy sarcastic overtones.
Oh my god.
Dunestrider nods, smiles, and dips. And you are back among the company. They seem to have they seem to be in the middle of a conversation. And as you plump down with the noise of the wood scooting, you plump down and you are rejoined among your companions.
She makes a little wheh of greeting, and then just immediately, like when I say flump, I mean she like passes out on the table.
It's good to see you again, Xalia.
Her arm like doesn't raise. The shoulder physically moves to her back, and then she waves at you.
That has to take more effort.
Well, also, it's Xalia, so amount of effort.
True.
Zoaz just kind of.
Oh, sorry. You can go.
Zoaz just kind of like stares for a little bit, and then continues imparting information about the potential job of escorting the medallion. For Xalia, you've probably come into the middle of a conversation about jewelry and taking it to a different region. It's not particularly interesting, I would assume.
Yeah, Makayla probably wouldn't also be listening. She'd be like really intently looking at the tome that previously was empty and now just has a bunch of gibberish written on it. So she's just like looking through this, trying to see if there's like any sort of pattern that you could decipher or something.
Also, my apologies if you can hear Bug. He's here and also playing his own D&D.
No, I can't hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything over the sound of a truck in the distance honking in the New York City sky. After a while, Makayla would kind of just like lean back, defeated, and just sort of say like, nothing here makes any sense. Can any of you make any heads or tails of this? This tome, once hidden, now holds nothing but nonsense. But it doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't protect something if it means nothing.
Maybe it's some kind of code?
Oh. That's what I think too, but I can't. I have not the head for that kind of thing. Yeah, it's just on the table, so like open, available to read.
I mean, Xalia's gonna scrabble over it upon hearing of a book and stare directly at it.
So yeah, you all, anyone who decides to take a look at this, you are met with sentences in common. They are somewhat short sentences. The structure, while in paragraphs, doesn't seem to flow like typical, opening sentence expresses an idea. There are further sentences bolstering this idea, and then a closing sentence. Each sentence seems to be, while in the same paragraph, seems to express its own idea. Or so it seems anyway. It is rather nonsensical. You take a flip through and pick a few apart. It says, let's see, a couple of them are gear set, triumphant in its course. The other is the page nods and listens, jotting down each word. The next one is the river that was once dammed now flows. Each one seems to be some sort of profound statement, but none of it means anything.
Would Twig recognize anything about these phrases?
What languages do you know?
Thieves can't. And common.
Thieves can't what?
Let's see. You also know Primordial?
Yes.
Oh, right, because you're a Kenku. I mean, not really.
Okay.
You can make an insight check, though.
Insight.
And anyone that is expressly interested can make an insight check.
Oh, Xalia's fucking interested. Xalia's all about this shit.
We'll take a little interest.
Yeah, fuck. My insight's really good, but I've already...
You're really tired, though.
You're welcome, Twig.
Alright. Xalia and Pastiche, you're a little tired. It's a little late in the night. Twig, you do... Like, staring at these, you do seem to get some sort of, like, aha moment, like an understanding of it. You do recognize that it is not some sort of coded message or anything like that, as you were initially suspecting. So it's not like it's written in Thieves' Camp, like you were thinking. Mm-hmm. It is definitely uncommon. It seems to be, but let's see. How should I explain this? It is. There is some sort of hidden meaning, but it's not like a hidden meaning like Thieves' Cant is. The language is clear, but you're not quite sure. It seems Each sentence, though, you do manage to have the clarity of mind. Each sentence seems to be explaining a concept, but it's very clear in that it is, but you don't know what it's referencing, or even if it's legitimate or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So your insight check nets you. It is clearly in common. It's not in Thieves' Cant, but there is a hidden meaning.
Okay.
So, like, is it... Not asking if it is exactly a cipher, but, like, is it just, like, we don't have the way, like, the proper code to, like, unencrypt it?
Not sure. You'll have to ask Twig. He seems to have this countenance of information on his face.
And Twig relays to the rest of the group what his insight has gained him. He says that it doesn't seem like code so much like a coded message, but just more like a meaning that we can't understand.
Xalia's gonna start, when she finds something that can be literally taken physically, she's gonna shapeshift to give herself that.
Could it be that it's a riddle? But it also seems it's incomplete as a riddle as well.
It almost seems like it's speaking in metaphor. Like each sentence is referencing something.
Correct. At least when you consider the water that flows line. Or I guess lines. Referencing, it sounds like as if they're referencing a location.
You think? I don't know. I don't know how much stock we should put in the literal words on those pages.
Of course. There's not much to go off of, though, so you could take it with a grain of salt.
True. Whatever, or whoever hid this and then, or rather, whoever wrote this and then hid this clearly really did not want whatever it is hiding to be found.
Could Twig take another look at the book just to record a couple of the lines for his notes?
Sure. I'm just picking maybe like a random line from random pages. All right. Let's see. One is the rose loses its petals when it is trampled. Another one is the murmurs of lost breach the halls. And since you have an interest in writing things down, the one from earlier that you saw, the page nods and listens as he jots.
I still have a use of this. I'm just gonna, sort of out of curiosity at this point, just use detect magic again. My today feature thing. Just and look at it and see if there's like now anything new that's different from the magic that was encasing it before.
Okay. You bid to your nature spirits and ask them to point out any magic. Unfortunately, you don't sense anything magical. The book, the tome, has actually lost the magical aura that previously surrounded it. Juice did a good job, apparently. She definitely dispelled what was on it.
Okay, just maybe it was like the ink was like magic or something to be like, appear as gibberish to anyone who looks at it. Something crazy like that. I don't know.
Twig, make a wisdom saving throw, though.
Okay. Saving throw?
Twig, make a wisdom saving throw.
Alright.
Okay. Thanks.
So he just has his beak buried in his notebook, writing.
Yeah, nothing good could come of that. Anyways.
You don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
You don't think Twig succeeded?
Yeah, Twig obviously succeeded.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a DC. Sure, it was a DC 7.
You don't know.
Only one way to find out.
The way to find out is keep asking and see how much psychic damage you take.
Anyways, I guess you would wait until you were done taking any notes out of it, and then she'd sort of, close it, put it back, take it back into her bag or whatever, and say, there's no use if we can't think of anything, there's no use to keep ramming our heads onto it. Might as well take a good night's sleep and maybe come at it with fresh eyes.
Twig nods. That makes sense.
It has been a tiring day.
Xalia deliberately grows new eyes and stares directly at Makayla.
What would Makayla say? Perhaps we just don't have the right eyes here.
They give you a variety to pick from.
Or perhaps our eyes are too tired for tonight. We have come from quite a long battle today.
Oh yeah, I'm at 1 HP.
Yeah, Zoaz is going to be casting Mending on his clothing to make it not tattered in rags after he got beat the heck up during that fight.
After a while, Zoaz, your clothing is no longer sword slashed. Looking like you just got done shopping at a clothing store.
A quiet sigh of satisfaction is let out, and Zoaz will walk over and say, "Yes, indeed. There is quite a bit to be done. However, good night's rest shall do all of us good." Before we all turn in for the night, I would like to ask one more time, will you all be aiding me in my escort of the medallion? I believe that it would be ideal to combine our efforts, one in the escort, the other in bringing Denoto to his desired location. I assure you will be rewarded handsomely. It is a job from the royal family, after all.
Chuman crosses his arms after hearing it. Well, I am looking for information regarding the royal family, so I suppose I can't say no. Count me in.
Twig nods and says, I'm in as well.
Pastiche lazily raises an arm. I'll bite.
Makayla sighs and it seems your promise of payment is your promise of payment has lured Danuno into this mess as well, and seeing as I need him to get more information, I guess I'll be with you as well.
Zoaz gives a wry smile. Yes, well, it seems it's not that hard to lure Denoto.
No. It really does not seem to be.
And Xalia, my friend?
Xalia is still staring at the book. She kind of looks up at you like a little bit haggard. Like she's used her brain a lot today, and it's kind of, it's creaking.
Moldy
steam
brain
coming out of it.
Moldy brain.
There's a difference between mold and creaking. So she's just gonna kind of. Basically that exact noise.
It did not come through the mic. I think that is a good indication of what kind of noise. Very high-pitched squeaky.
I heard a little bit.
I heard the start of it.
Yeah.
I don't think Discord is cooperating.
Yeah, I think it's getting like...
Discord doesn't want the noise to come out.
Noise suppression.
At any rate, Zoaz will say, my friend, you, would you like to come along on the way? We are... The delivery that must go to Olga, and Denoto's contact is on the way, in Derlusk. If you are going with the rest of the group to Derlusk, it could be a good idea.
Her eyes lose the edge for a little bit, and then she's gonna nods.
Ah, thank you. That is quite a weight off my shoulders.
And then she immediately falls down and face plants into the table.
Thump.
She kind of kind of puts an arm out, and then like as you hit the table itself, she's like, "Oh, well, too slow." Oh dear.
By the way, Pastiche, I know you were interested in that charity auction. Did anyone know what time that was going to be tomorrow? I know it was just recently pushed then.
An excellent question. I'm not certain.
Roll a history check, anybody?
Zayla is half asleep, but you know what? I'm gonna roll it anyway. I want to see what happens.
Whoever rolls highest knows.
Oh, definitely not me.
I'm not certain.
Makayla, yeah, I mean, I'm glad Makayla didn't roll that.
Alright, Pastiche, the moment you say that you don't quite remember, it just kind of goes off in your head. Oh wait, yeah, I do. I remember it was around 11 o'clock or noon.
Okay. The weight of my bag of coins jostles my memory.
Bags, multiple.
That's true.
Okay.
And you can choose to keep that to yourself or tell your allies, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. Imagine Pastiche just said exactly what Accel just said.
Okay.
Okay.
They start accepting people at 11. The auction actually begins at noon.
Okay.
So we'd be able... Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We'd be able to make it to both, right? The auction and the escort?
I believe so.
Sounds like a plan.
Tomorrow, go talk to King. Inform him. We do have a group, but we have one final thing to attend to here in the Tenuto.
Oh, you will have to see about talking to Tenuto without him being drunk.
Oh, did I say Denoto? I meant King. I apologize. Imagine that I said,
You said King and then Denoto later. I didn't...
Okay. I apologize.
So good.
Nah, roll with it. It was a character. So it's tired.
Oh, true.
Alright.
Oh, yeah, that then... Denoto, I believe Well, I don't believe King would get drunk, so... He does not seem like a man who would be an early drinker.
Chuman just looks at Zoaz for a moment.
After the fight he put up today, I think he deserves it, though.
Fair enough. At any rate, I believe it would be in my best interests to begin resting for the day ahead.
Nods.
I trust I will meet you all here in the morning.
That sounds good.
Sounds sufficient.
Some sleep sounds good too.
Zoaz is going to pick up his things and begin making his way to where he stays.
Okie dokie. So you all take a long rest then?
Yeah, Xalia is gonna pass out there until someone drags her.
Yeah, no, Makayla would go around to the table and sort of lightly tap on her shoulder, like, come, let's find you a proper room to sleep.
Alright. Everybody, hit your long rest buttons and mark off 1 silver, please, because that is the cost of the room.
Does Zoaz have to spend 1 silver?
Nope, because you're
Cool.
not at the inn.
Hell yeah.
You live
No.
here.
No way!
Okay.
My hard-earned money.
You'll be right.
How will I ever recover from this? From 101 gold.
My 1 silver.
To 100 gold and 99 silver.
Okay.
Okay. I get it.
As sleep takes you all, you wake up feeling refreshed, ready for a new day, just feel really good, just ready to go. It seems like they have subliminal encouragement at this inn during the evening. And you awake with the new day. I guess my first question is, who's up? And in what order?
I think Twig would be an early riser.
Yeah. Away from the group, Zoaz has woken quite early to go meet up with King and inform him that before the group needs to
I'm up early.
Okay.
before the group leaves, they need to attend the auction.
Okay. Zoaz is heading towards Horizon's Gate. Twig is up. Chuman's up.
I think it's funny for Xalia to be a late sleeper.
Okay.
Pastiche going to be up relatively early.
Okay. Alright, as you all descend to the... Well, I say you all, but as Pastiche, Twig, and Chuman descend to the tavern section, down from the sleeping floors, you see a gold dragonborn at the desk. Bloop, bloop. Talking to the owner. Seems to be kind of like pointing up towards the second floor. As you get closer, you can hear him. Now, he looks like a snake person. Kind of like cream color scales, you know? He kind of like adjusts his hat. It's like, come on. You gotta tell me where I have a message for him. The inn owner appears to be very tight-lipped about his clients' security. Oh, sorry, sir. I cannot tell you where they are staying or even if they are here. This is against regulations. You know the rules. And then To which Denoto replies, "Oh, the heck with y'all's rules. I'm tired of this whole Hollandus nation rules this. Strip that, secure them. Oh." He kind of looks around, stomps his foot, and then, at a glance, he happens to see Pastiche descending the stairway. "Ah, there he is." He looks over to the innkeeper. It's like, I win anyway. And then Denoto rushes over to Pastiche, Twig, and Chuman.
Denoto, it's a pleasure to see you.
Hey there, y'all. Look, excuse me. As you all get into the lobby proper, he swings an arm around your shoulder and hunkers down next to you and lowers his voice. Pastiche, I gotta hightail it out of town, you know. Them Doomstriders is giving me funny looks. I think they're catching on. I gotta skip the nation. I'll meet you in Durlusk. Just send this paper bird when you get there and tell it to go find me, Denoto Steel. Alright? And he pushes a piece of paper into your chest. Now that there's a paper bird, you know how those work, yeah?
Pastiche glares at him, like one eye half closed, raising an eyebrow sort of thing.
Now, they can't find... Look, I know that you might be perturbed that I ain't hanging around, but listen, they can't find me here. I ain't going back to jail. You know? I gots to go. Everything's gonna be alright. I'm gonna get to Durlusk safely. Then I'll be out of this holiday. Think we can hang out and party all the time now that we're out of Hollandus. As soon as we're in this other nation, we can hang out. We can be best buds, you know? I'm looking forward to that. So, listen. That art piece, top priority. Anything else? If you think I might like it, I'll take it. But, alright. We good? He's like looking cautiously, like he's very nervously looking around, making sure there are no Doomstriders in the current location.
Pastiche is clearly suspicious, but gives a cautious nod.
Looks over
yes. Take care of yourself.
Denoto nods. Right. Like, don't worry, Juice and Rizbith's gonna come with me. And so is Rang and Tedmus. We'll have our own little entourage. That way, you know, crossing there's treacherous work. But I'll be off then. Chitty bye. Twig, Chuman, y'all be good. You here? Sorry I didn't get to hang out with y'all more, but look, I really got to go. I hear that there's a bunch of guards hanging out at the Horizons Gate, and that's the way I gotta go. Alright, so long, don't wait up. And he's like walking away and just like waving. It's like, alright, I gotta go. See ya. And he busts through the door and kind of like power walks towards the Horizons Gate.
Chuman looks puzzled the entire time and then looks over to Pastiche. What was that about?
He's something of a wanted man, yes?
I see. Information must have caught up to him. Do we...
Headed to Durlusk soon anyway.
Oh, excellent. That means that we will also have him to worry in the area as long as with our escort. Could knock two birds with one stone. Well, so long as he doesn't get caught. Anywho, I suppose.
Sorry, go ahead.
I suppose that we're out pretty early. Do we just wait for everyone else here, or?
I don't know about you. I've got an auction to catch.
Pastiche in your inventory is now a paper bird.
Alright.
And then I'm pretty sure you know how to how to use one of those. You've used them quite a few times in the past when you were communicating with your clientele.
Makes sense.
Let's see. Probably as Pastiche makes up his mind and starts heading for the door. How late is Xalia sleeping? And how late is Makayla sleeping?
Xalia won't wake up Makayla. I don't know about the other way around.
Sorry, you said you won't wake up Makayla?
Yeah, like your sleep. I would let her sleep.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, so Makayla would have, I'd say like Makayla would have woken up and then realized she doesn't really care much about the action. You know, it's like she's not in any rush today. She's got, nothing special, just went back to sleep.
Okay. What about Xalia?
When Xalia gets up, she will she'll go downstairs, but she'll also literally fucking drag herself. If you watch her go downstairs, it looks like she's falling, but she's not falling.
Okay. The true question is, are you awake to see Pastiche, Twig, and Chuman before
Probably
they
not.
leave? Okay.
Probably not.
Alright. Pastiche, you're headed to the auction. Twig and Chuman, what would you like to do?
Twig would love to see the auction as well.
Okay.
Same.
Alright, so you three head together then. Let's see. Make an investigation check.
Oh.
Somebody with advantage. Whoever would like to helm the search for the auction is being assisted by the others. Dang,
Xalia's kind of following.
Xalia's what? I'm sorry?
Just kind of following.
Oh. Alright, so the three of you start heading off through the sandy streets. Xalia, make a stealth check, even though you're not necessarily trying to be sneaky. I'm just curious.
Nah, 20.
Or better yet, what's your passive stealth? That's probably more accurate. Third. Okay. Okay. I'm just checking a few things, sorry. Okay. So you guys start heading around. Pastiche, it's pretty obvious the signs are there. You just follow the signs. They've got big red arrows. Auction this way for charity, and an exclamation point. They've got little caricatures of Zonrune, like cartoon Zonrune, just kind of doing thumbs up and stuff. And let's see here. Before you make it, though, you've got, it's maybe early morning. You've got a few hours, so you're just sauntering. When you are approached by a gruff and older-looking orc. They start talking to you, but before that happens, they just call your attention. Hey, hello. And they walk directly up to you.
Greetings.
Hello. I couldn't help but notice that you three were the winners of One Blade Two Halves.
Oh yes, the water bar.
Did my eyes deceive me? So this person's talking to you while I'm just fiddling with the tokens, so hang on. He asked you a question.
Twig nods and says, "Why, yes, we are."
Okay, here he is, this gruff-looking orc. He's got this white beard. He's got a string of beads around his neck. He has no shirt on, but he does have pants on. That way he'll get served if he walks into the supermarket. He's got tattoos going everywhere. He seems like he's been around for quite some time. he explains to you that, excuse me, well, it's funny that I should run into you. He kind of chuckles and looks down, slightly embarrassed. I was side betting at the one blade two halves contest about who would win, and I bet on you, but the person I was bet on didn't want to pay, and it's a dragonborn man named Viruvalj. He owes me 500 gold, and I was hoping that you could come with me, since you're the winners and all, and we could get him to pay up. I'll give you 10% of it. Since you're the winners and all, it kind of made it 'cause of you.
You said a yellow dragonborn, was it?
He's a fellow dragonborn, but he's a red variety. He's a real gruff person. He's quick to anger and all. That's probably why he stomped off when he got beat. He just refused to pay. And I can't really go to a Doomstrider because side betting's against the rules. But we do it anyway, you know, because it's fun.
Well, he saw the competition. That means he'll recognize us. What's the worst that could happen?
And Twig just says, hold on. You bet 500 gold on us? I'm honored.
His long orcish ear twitches in embarrassment. He's like, he scratches his beard. Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't let you down.
Oh, I sure am glad that you didn't. It was a little scary there when you and the Tiger Man were going at it, but I believed, definitely. It was very valid you didn't believe, and then you didn't pay up.
Well, what say you all? It shouldn't take us too long to do that and get back to the auction.
I don't see why not.
I think we could convince him to see a reason. Let's go.
All right, I'll take you to him. He always hangs out at the same spot. And then this orc who introduces himself as Taben. He's leading you across the Tenyuto streets towards a familiar-looking tavern, and with Xalia a little in tow, a little behind.
Oh no, once she's up, she's straight back to her normal, like, you know, bug-eyed, high sunglasses look.
All right. In the meantime, Zoaz, you've reached Horizon's Gate, and there is King and Korikon. You see them. Looks like they're just conversing amongst each other.
Zoaz will approach and begin to inform them that indeed the whole group will be coming along. However, they do have business to attend to before the group leaves. They have prior engagements that they must complete at the auction taking place today.
King will respond. He nods. Oh, I understand. We could leave right away, but naturally we have to have the whole group in tow. If you need to take care of this thing, then we shall wait, Korikon? And then Korikon nods and kind of makes some sort of like bubbling noise that only crabs can make. King rubs his chin. Zoaz, how many of us are there? Please remind me.
Well, it would be myself, Pastiche, Twig, who you are, I no doubt aware of, Xalia, Chuman, and I believe Makayla, who would be joining us.
I see. So that's 6 including ourselves, 7, 8. Korokon has 1. I need 1. Tell you what, Zoaz. I think as a show of good faith, I will. He's like raising an index finger in the air as if like he's thinking an idea through, and he starts wailing it, shaking it. It's like, aha! I will get us some raptors. It shall make traveling easy. Instead of relying on Korokon's pack beast here, we can all have one. We can all.
That would certainly be ideal. Though, before you go and procure one for myself, be aware I have my own.
If you say so. Well,
speaking of,
go ahead and make your preparations, and we'll be here. Korokon and I will find something to pass the time. But you said you looked like you were about to say something.
Zoaz is going to turn to Korokon and say, my friend, I am glad that you are all right. Your condition did not seem great back at the docks, but you seem to have made a fantastic recovery.
Look at Korokon. He's got like this indentation in his shell on the head. But otherwise, he does indeed look much better after hanging out in the infirmary. Oh, yes. A good night's sleep will do anyone wonders.
Indeed.
I feel like I'm a new man. And he just makes more crab noises.
I love crab noises.
Mm-hmm. At any rate, I am going to go find my compatriots, inform them of the proceedings, and once the auction is done, I will collect them, and we will take off. Do you have any particular place that you would like to meet us?
Oh, let's just meet here. This is fine. I'll do inventory. King kind of chuckles. You don't have much to inventory, my friend. It's only the
Zoaz smiles and nods.
Zoaz, let us meet here again. I think we will go find a nice drink stand to, hang out at. And we'll see you coming, and then we'll go to the Horizons Gate, and then we will all leave together, yeah?
Correct. And Zoaz will wave goodbye and begin seeking his compatriots. First, most likely, at the inn that he left them at, because he was under the impression that they were going to meet there.
They're gone.
About that.
You maybe, depending on the time, you maybe see Makayla like shuffling downstairs, or having a breakfast beer or something.
She'd be drinking tea. Yeah, she'd have like a morning cup of tea.
Yeah, you find Makayla sipping tea.
Ah, my friend. Where are the others?
If I were to hazard a guess, it appears none of them, no one else remembered that we were supposed to meet up before going to the auction, and just went on their own accord.
Zoaz harumphs. Says, I see. Well, I suppose we shall meet them there. At any rate, I know where we will be meeting King and Korokon before we set out, and they are perfectly fine with taking care of business at the force before we do so.
Good. I'm glad Korokon is okay.
Indeed. Maybe may not be fully recovered, but he is certainly doing much better than he was.
Yeah. Thinking back onto how he literally had his head
split open, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you need to go and that's basically gonna work. If you need to go and find the rest of our party, then I suppose we'll join you at the auction.
We can wait for you to finish your meal. No rush.
Oh, alright then. And she will take her sweet time finishing her breakfast, tea, and meal.
And then once that's done, Zoaz will head over to the auction house, leading Makayla there.
What a gentleman.
Alright, so you two head towards the auction. Zoaz, it's your town. You obviously know where it is, so you lead Makayla there. The others, let's see here. Taban leads you to Galloway Commoners.
Huh?
Galloway Doomstriders. Taban leads you to some sort of section where it is less traveled. You look around, you notice that there are no Doomstriders about. Takes you to this tavern. It is called the Coral Serpent. The tavern.
There's so many taverns.
He nods to you on. Viewer Vouch usually hangs out in here, and it's usually quiet at this time of day, so we should be free to talk to him, I think. We'll go in and we'll demand that he pay. I mean, he lost. It was fair and square and stuff. And then
And stuff.
look, don't make fun of my word choices, ma'am.
That was like really. That was not in character.
And he leads you into the Coral Serpent. You head in, and at the bar is a familiar-looking gnome. He's cleaning glasses. He gives you a wave. Hello, we are only open for liquids at the moment. No meals, please. But if you would like to order something, you may. And then he just goes back to what he's doing. Taban looks around and he immediately spots this red dragonborn, this equally gruff-looking individual. He seems to always be wearing a scowl. He's even scowling in his drink. He's got some sort of breakfast beer going on. And he's just like slurping it, and he just thunks it down on the counter. He mutters a curse in Draconic. And Taban leads you up to him. Sip, 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 sip. And Taban clears his throat. Dear Vouch, these are the winners of the watermelon cutting contest, watermelon slicing contest. They think you should pay up on our little bet too, our wager, you know. Dear Vouch appears to be ignoring him. He scowls into his beer and drinks another one.
Zaylee is going to minor illusion the orc's face directly into this guy's beer. And he's going to say the exact same thing.
The Dragonborn, is startled, of course, and he yelps, beer spills everywhere. He sputters. Can't even drink beer without seeing your face, Taban. No, I ain't paying up. They cheated. How are you going to expect this little twig of a Kenku, this little scrawny looking thing's going to beat a whole tiger?
Twig is taken aback. He says, "Hey, I take offense to that."
But hang on. Why are you gonna keep people out of this? I ain't paying you. They cheated. You cheated. And he points at you, Twig.
I would do no such thing.
I don't know.
Pastiche slowly starts circling the table.
Circling in for the kill.
I don't know. You look like a rule breaker to me.
Chuman sits at the other side.
Listen, everyone knows that tigers are way stronger than birds. Couldn't have happened.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely sure. It was rigged, I tell ya. I don't pay rigged bets. Now go on, get out of here and leave me be. I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna drink my beer, and I'm gonna go find an alley to pee in, and I'm gonna go about my day. And you all gonna go about your day too. And you, Tabin, get out. Tabin at this point just looks pleadingly to you all.
Pastiche approaches.
He actually does not seem to notice your presence. He's busy telling off the gruff orc with the beer in his hand.
Pastiche is going to rest a hand on his shoulder. Not saying anything. Just making contact.
He jumps, startled. Ah! Where'd you come from? Hey, then he starts laughing. Ain't you the one that lost? Yeah, see? This proves that it was all rigged.
Just pay up.
No.
Twig says, you know what? If you don't want to believe us, I think maybe a little demonstration might be in order.
Oh yeah? Or are you gonna demonstrate?
Oh no.
I got nothing to cut, my guy. You can't cut me. Am I gonna cut you? Alright, what are you doing?
Twig's gonna take the watermelon slicer out in one hand and the melon of water in the other. Toss it in the air and try to slice it in two right in front of him.
Meanwhile, Pastiche is brandishing the watermelon slicer in the hand that isn't on the Dragonborn's shoulder.
Dragonborn is very bewildered at how you procured a watermelon.
Chuman explains. You remember the winners receive a watermelon, correct?
So Chuman's saying this as Twig is slicing towards the midair watermelon. Go ahead and make an attack roll however you please. Alright. Okay. Roll me some damage. I'm just curious. Okay.
Perfect.
Cleanest cut you ever seen.
No damage done at all.
Watermelons can't have that much health.
Alright, tell me the tale of how you cut this watermelon midair.
Twig slices it downwards, lengthwise, spraying watermelon juice all over the Dragonborn's face. I guess watermelon juice is just water.
The Dragonborn wipes the watermelon juice off his face, and he looks sputtering. Some seeds got in his mouth somehow. He looks around. He grates his teeth a bit. His fists clench.
Is that demonstration sufficient for you?
As Chuman says that, Pastiche brings the watermelon slicer a little bit closer to his neck.
He doesn't he doesn't see it. He has like no perception. he sees only like watermelon juice and seeds and this little Kenku in front of him. Just cut it cleanly in half in the midair. His hand slowly goes down to his belt. He takes out a pouch. It's this not grainy. It's this like kind of bumpy looking pouch. He slams it fist first on the table. Lets it go. He looks up at you, Pastiche, and shrugs you away. There, take your stupid money. Your grubby money. Go on, go buy some booze with it. I know that's what you're gonna do.
Your cooperation is appreciated.
Yeah, whatever. Leave me be. I don't want to see. I don't want to see no orc, or no Kenku, or no snake dude, or
Xalia crawls up on the table and kind of just stares in his face.
And
he lowers her sunglasses so he can see all her eyes.
He's pointing at Xalia, at a loss of what to declare you. Get out of here! I don't want to see nothing. He excuses himself from the table and stomps away.
As he stomps away, Chuman grabs the money, and then maybe next time you'll enter in the competition too.
Just disgruntled dragonborn noises.
Same.
And Chuman, you have in your hand a bag. It's a bumpy bag. You can feel that it's got rocks in it. Not necessarily gold pieces. Take a peek, and it's gemstones, actually.
Chuman has his eyes are a little wide-eyed. It's hard to see since he has goggles on, but he looks at the orc and says to Tabin, "Was your reward for winning this side bet supposed to be go to pieces?"
Aye. Not everything that we bet on is in gold. Dear vouch, he's a miner. He's a gemstone miner. He works in a town over called Baskar, and they mine gemstones there, among other things, of course. He takes the bag from you. He opens it up, counts it. 1, 2, 6, 10. Ah, yes. Each of these are worth about, give or take, 50 gold. And he plucks a nice little jade gemstone and hands it to you, Chuman. There you are, your cut. I appreciate you very much for both, I suppose, winning me this money twice. He nods and smiles.
No, it's our appreciation for believing in us.
Well, as the winners of the contest, I hope you are bolstered by the spirit of renewal, friends. And please, take that gemstone. It's worth about 50 gold. Take that with confidence. And go with the wind, I say. And Tabin nods, and then bows and exits the Coral Serpent.
Chuman hands. Is it just one gemstone?
It's a single jade gemstone. Is jade a gemstone? I don't know. If it's not, it is now.
In this world, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Well then, I believe that our cut will be separated from this. We'll have to get this sold before we can split this.
Fine by me.
Twig nods in agreement.
Well then, off to the auction, shall we? Shouldn't miss anything.
Pastiche is already moving towards the door.
Alright.
Would we be able to see Makayla and Zoaz from here?
Did I?
In a moment, you will.
Okay.
So you start moving through Tenuto, Pastiche leading the direction, following the signs. It's that easy. You reach a sizable tent. So all of you are now in the same approximate location. This large tent is adorned. It's kind of like a circus tent. It's got like this big top, and there's flag posts and people milling around. There's performers gleefully waving their arms and doing jazz hands. The tent is adorned or patterned or colored. It's adorned with like blue, pink, and white stripes at the top, with an array of streamers from posts hammered into the sand. You spot big signs that read "Please No Magic" in red letters. and you all manage to spot each other now as you all are moving through the sand, just heading towards this tent. So Zoaz and Makayla are now joined with Twig, Xalia, Pastiche, and Chuman. You are outside this tent.
Zoaz, noticing that the group has joined them, will grunt and say, I see you all have made your way here. Perhaps you could have gotten here sooner, had you a guide.
Xalia gives him a rolling blink behind her sunglasses.
Chuman speaks up. Our apologies. We've had a slight detour before we had to come to the auction.
I can tell. At any rate, I believe we are here before the proceedings have taken place, so it matters not. I apologize.
Okay. You guys head in, or?
Zoaz does.
Yep.
Xalia's just kind of passively following the group at this point.
Alright.
I feel like Makayla's in the same boat.
Going in and trying to win things.
Listen, Xalia is just like me IRL. I don't go to places, I just follow other people.
Inside is a sandy hall depicting glass showcases with, whoops, get out of there. Dun, 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 dun. Let me make sure. Alright. Sorry about that. Okay. Inside. What kind of hall is it? It's a sandy hall, depicting glass showcases with fanciful and wondrous items from around the globe. There's a large open tome with an official gesturing towards it that has a small crowd of people. Beyond there, you can see seating. The glass showcases seem to have just all manner of items. There's potions, there's key-looking objects, there's weaponry, there are trinkets and necklaces, all that kind of things. You can see, as you're heading toward the opening where the seating is, you can hear that the official is explaining what is available. They're just calling out things like, see the amazing, and the once in a lifetime, taken from the clutches of doom, blah blah blah. If you head further in, the hall empties into a large, well-lit area with stadium seating. There's the brown wooden bleachers that are populated with all manner of people that have come from far and wide to see the great auction. You can place yourself anywhere you like. The brown wooden bleachers are populated with people. The center is lightly dusted with sand with a wooden table. And you all can just range yourselves and do whatever you want. Look around, there's some elderly people, there's some fish people, there's some dragon people. You spot Merchant King Zonrune over in the corner. There's a couple Doomstriders, of course, keeping security. Some sort of blonde woman. You spot Aurelia. Sorry, you spot the what's her face? The Doomstrider that gave her name as Aurelia back during the pirate encounter. There's someone in some kind of like knightly armor. There is a Pastiche you sidle past a quiet man who does appear sharply dressed. He has neatly trimmed beard and mustache with black hair. Does anybody do anything special, or do they pay anybody special mind? You tell me.
Pastiche
sorry. You first.
Pastiche is going to take a careful look around at all of the people who seem to be here for the auction.
Okay.
Same.
Make a perception check.
Makayla, while you're kind of scanning the room, would also would sort of straight up to you, Pastiche. Like, what? So what did Denoto want you to get exactly?
Primarily some art.
Okay.
Just any old art.
Well, of course, not just any old art.
Okay, they're just kind of like looking at you, like expecting a follow-up to that. And upon receiving none, just sort of. Is there some sort of piece of significance here that he's looking for? Or is this purely just like this man wants some fancy paintings?
Is it significant? Well, that depends on who you ask.
I am asking you.
It is significant.
Makayla, frustrated, walks away. She'll see whatever this painting is when they start bidding. Whatever. She gives up.
Alright. Chuman, let's see. You cast your gaze around. You see Merchant King's on Rune again. He's a little hard to miss. Let's see. I mean, there's the Dune Strider that you saved from that Tabaxi Pirate. She's looking healthy, notably not wearing a blood-stained outfit anymore. There is a curious-looking fish person. Let's see here. With your expert gaze, you catch the bronze dragonborn person across the way. She appears to be writing in some sort of notebook. Seems to be a very large notebook, actually. Definitely thick. See a blonde woman near Merchant King's on Rune, wearing glasses. She's also thumbing through a very small notebook with a heart-shaped pen. Pastiche, you take a glance around, a little bit distracted by Makayla, but then your gaze rests on the dapper man behind you. He briefly looks up at you and acknowledges your presence. You lock eyes for a moment, and in that moment, you sense something a little bit peculiar about his eyes. They are a sandy golden, and you're not quite sure, but because he looks away immediately after, locking eyes with you, but you sense some movement either in or behind his eyes, but you quickly just guess a little something about the weird lighting.
Okay.
And is everyone settled?
Zayla's just looking around for any kind of nonsense she can get up to.
Zoaz is mostly here to watch the show.
Alright.
Honestly, I feel like Makayla would be watching whatever Xalia does. That's the real entertainment.
Xalia, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot to get up to. There's certainly a lot of people, but it's generally empty. It's just seating and people, which I guess means there's a whole lot to get up to.
She's going to she's going to silent image the chairs, the row of chairs slightly longer than they actually are.
Oh no. Make a deception check. Once everyone is settled, Zoaz, you do know that you're in for a show, as these things usually are. Once everyone's settled, the lights go off. You got a 20 on deception? Okay. Soup. and the music stops. The lights go off. There's just a general murmur of just people noise in the stands, and you can barely make out a form moving to the middle of the arena from the north. There's this booming footstep noise, which you realize doesn't make sense because the arena is made out of sand, but must be some sort of special effect. Xalia, as this person makes it to the middle of the arena, you hear someone on the edge just yelp, and you hear a thump in the darkness, followed by some minor cursing in Elvish.
Oh no!
Having a good time.
And the figure in the middle of the arena calls out, "Behold!" And the center spotlight shines. Spotlight illuminates the table, and a purple tiefling, adorned from head to toe in jewelry, rings on each finger. Necklaces and bracelets abound. Earrings and ear cuffs. Their horns are even bedazzled. They've got shoulder-length raven hair flow that's flowing to their shoulders around a cypress green open coat that exposes their purple chest, upon which they have a sky blue tattoo. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the charity auction of the Hopeward Festival. Call me Champagne because this is surely a celebration. Celebrate the renewal of life with me as we auction off these lovely items together to the highest bidder. As usual, the imports are from far and wide, even across the ocean. This year, we also have a woeful donation from those merchants who lost their lives in the recent pirate attack. But chin up! Their tragedy is a gift to us, and they would want us to have these gifts if they knew their precious lives expired. In your seats, find instructions on how to proceed through the auction. We have quite a list today, and I understand that we have the pleasure of Merchant King Zonrune here today. Without further circumlocution, let's begin, eh? There's roaring, raucous applause. In your seats, you do find instructions. I will post them in the appropriate channel. There you go.
Quick, check the manual.
There you go. Now you know how it works. And the tiefling, identified as Champagne, just has his chin, but kind of in the nook of his thumb and forefinger, as an item is wheeled out. Let's find out what it is. Rush 55.
Mm-mm.
This, what is placed on the table, is a mug, is a large mug, almost like a tankard. It is, it has a sort of like a tankard wrap on it that appears to be a compass in nature. The tiefling goes on to explain, this mug, let me tell you, is an extremely awesome mug. It will point the way. Are you ready for this? It will point the way to the nearest tavern when it is balanced on its edge. Additionally, because that's not all, this will also produce, hear me, produce an unlimited amount of rum, if I do say so myself. That is a mighty tasty thing. The bidding will begin at 10 gold. Place your bets, place your bets. And then he snaps his fingers. And the bidding starts.
Cool.
So if you would like to bid, go ahead and put yourself in initiative order.
Chuman has already lost enters.
Wow. Well, let me tell you, that guy wants it. That guy wants it.
Curious thing, you'd think if you had unlimited rum, you wouldn't need to know how to get to a nearest pub.
Maybe you need to know the way so you can sell the rum.
Now you're thinking.
Soup. Alright, Pastiche, you are the quickest to react. What would you like to do?
15 gold.
Champagne, like, double points at you. 15 gold from the excellent fellow over there. The knightly-looking fellow on the other bleachers holds up a little card. 18 gold. And then the inspired-looking fellow holds up 19 gold. Right here. Pastiche, back to you.
22.
Make an intimidation check.
There it is.
24. 25? Yeah. I want it. 25. Pastiche.
40.
Take an intimidation check with advantage. Alright.
Now we're talking.
That's some greed right there.
The knightly man kind of like half raises his card. Is like, never mind. And he no longer wants it. The inspired-looking gentleman just doesn't even flinch. He just stays quiet. Going once, the MC says. Going twice. Waits for a moment, looks around. He's got 3 fingers in the air. Sold to the highest bidder, the snake fellow over there in the bleachers, southwest, please. Thank you. Write it up. He does like a little finger twirl motion, and someone takes the mug off of the table, and someone nods to you. Pastiche, you were quickly approached by someone who you didn't really notice there before, and they just whisper to you, your name, please. They collect your details, and they assert that you will be receiving your winnings after the show. Alright. Excellent! Now let's move on to the next one. This next one is going to be a spell book. This one is a spell book. It is a red bound spell book is wheeled out and put on display. It is a hefty looking thing. It's definitely seen some age. The tiefling champagne spreads their arms wide. This spellbook, let me tell you all, is the product of a wizard's glorious research over the years. How woeful it was that they were expired, assassinated, murdered by some fellows and their fellowettes. This spellbook used to belong to a necromancer of great legend, of whom I cannot tell you, but let me tell you, necromancer of great legend. Anyone would want to know the spells that are contained with this. He picks up the spellbook and opens a few pages and gazing through the opening of the pages, looking at it at the audience. Who would love to know the spells contained in here? What could they be? What could they do? Could they raise the dead? Could they freeze people? Could they make Jillian fries? You'll know if you buy this spellbook. The going price, the opening bid, please, will be 500 gold.
What?
Xalia was interested until she heard necromancer, and then too much money.
You can't see it, but me, the player, is squinting. When you said necromancer's spell.
Let's see here. Who? Lady Dragonborn wants it. Yeah, this fish dude wants it, sure.
Sorry, was that 500 gold or 50 gold?
500.
0.
The inspired-looking person next to you, Twigs, is 500, and it's a little too steep for my blood, I think. I am interested in those spells, though. You guys can see some shifting between the people. It seems that even Zonrun is interested in this. His curiosity has been piqued. Alright. The Lady Dragonborn looks like she wins the initiative. She's going to raise her hand. 501? Zonrun fixes a steely gaze over to her. Grins. 502. The fish person makes some fish noises, and the tiefling just kind of like salutes. That was 503 from the fish gentleman, and the person behind you, Pastiche, raises his voice, clearing his throat first. Yes, 600, please. And the tiefling goes, 600, big spender from the gentleman in the back there. Would any of you like to enter the initiative order before we continue to the next round?
Nope. I think we're a bit out of our depth on this one.
I mean, somebody's got money.
Okay, well...
Whoa, Pastiche! You could
his money.
You could pull your money. It's not like I'm not saying you should. I'm saying you have more money than your individual coffers. Pastiche raises his hand, and Twig excitedly runs over. He's like, "Oh, okay." The Lady Dragonborn raises her placard. 600. And Zonrun is going to raise that by a single gold. Zonrun seems to be a shrewd individual, so it's at 601. 601 from Merchant King Zonrun. Do we have any increases going once?
Pastiche is going to look around the room a little bit. Look at the well-dressed man behind them again.
He's pretty well dressed. He's got like this little like poofy necktie thing that they have.
Uh-huh.
Cravat?
Yeah, I think cravat is the word for that.
Yeah, he's got this cravat.
Heck yeah.
And say nothing.
Okay. Okay. The fish person bows out and would no longer like to bid. The well-dressed man behind you, Pastiche, sees you look at him, gives you like a what? Like complete with like upturned hand. He's like, what? Excuse me, 650. The Lady Dragonborn fixes the well-dressed man from across the stadium. Then she boldly declares 1,000 gold. And Zonrun, it appears to be like conversing with an associate to his side. You can see his trunk like kind of like lift and raise and such and such. Then Merchant King Zonrun stops bidding. He just holds up his hands and does a little nod and bows out. Pastiche.
1002.
You hear like a snicker behind you.
Twig makes like a choking noise.
Zoaz is stifling a chuckle.
Makayla is like aghast. Like, where did you get this money?
Chuman is just smiling.
The well-dressed man.
Bailey,
go ahead.
gives him some side eyes.
Some side.
Sorry, not Xalia. The well-dressed man behind you, Pastiche, kind of scratches his chin. I think this is rather funny myself. 1005! 1005 from the well-dressed gentleman behind there! Do we have any other takers? 1005. Do we have 1006? Do I hear 1007? The Lady Dragonborn just matter-of-factly stands up and says, 2,000 gold. And then just glares daggers at the opposite side of the arena.
Pastiche also stands up. Glares knives at the opposite side of the arena. 3,000 gold.
Dang, make an intimidation check.
Makayla is now convinced you're bluffing. Makayla is now absolutely convinced you're bluffing. You don't have this cash, and you're just trying to like rob them or something. You're gonna get in so much trouble.
Can I give Pastiche my advantage or my inspiration?
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
The well-dressed man behind you kind of like leans to the side, trying to like see around and like see your face, Pastiche. Excuse me.
Pastiche
Bailey is going to minor illusion Dragonborn lady standing up and yelling 4,000 gold.
Oh no.
I was waiting for this.
Excuse me, 3001 if you don't mind.
Cool.
Let's see. Xalia, there is a puff of air, and then behind you is a whisper. Please no magic.
She makes a disappointed noise.
They're so fast on catching the magic.
I like turn behind. I guess I'm like sitting next to Xalia at this point. I'm like turn. Is there anyone actually there behind us, or?
There is for a moment, and then just like they wave their hand in a clockwise circle, and then step backwards into the shadows, and you don't see them anymore.
They're quick, man.
Bailey immediately stopped paying attention because this is no longer fun for her.
Lady Dragonborn sees the illusion, and then echoes it. Yeah, right here, 4,000 gold. We both said it, right here.
Oh my god.
But Xalia, make a perception check. As the Lady Dragonborn, a perception check.
Okay.
Okay, and then Pastiche, what would you like to do? The bidding is now at 4,000 gold for this excellent and I'm sure very valuable spellbook, valuable according to you all. To me, it's the world is worth everything but your smiles. Any question for him about whether you heard him correctly?
What was the perception for?
You'll find out after Pastiche.
Okay.
Pastiche is going to sit down and chuckle audibly and say nothing.
I want everyone to know that I wish you could have seen Thomas's face as he was stroking his chin, thinking about whether or not he was going to continue playing dangerous games.
I can already see it from here.
The well-dressed man behind you, Pastiche. It seems like he was only playing along because you were, and he also sits down. With a grin on his face. No more for me, thanks. Going once. Lady Dragonborn sits down and folds her arms. Going twice. So at this time, Xalia, you notice that the Lady Dragonborn is, like, her gaze is fixated on you. Just unmoving, just staring straight at you, with a flat face.
Smiled and waved at her.
Going 3 times! Do we have any other takers for this crimson-backed spellbook? Spellbook of Legend. Spellbook of Excellence. Spellbook of Spells. The MC is doing, like, jazz hands.
Well, actually, wait. Would they get mad at me at this? Could I? Does this have like a verbal component? Oh, it does. Lame. I was gonna think about doing detect magic to see if that spellbook was real or if it was just a fake. But I'd rather not get more trouble.
Okay.
Or rather, Makayla wouldn't.
The Lady Dragonborn awaits her prize, and the MC delivers. Yes! Great! Sold to the highest bidder. This lovely Lady Bronze Dragonborn in the back here. And poof! Someone appears right next to the Lady Dragonborn, asks for details, and then Xalia, you also hear with that perception check that she identifies herself as Lady Kara, and she's got a even while she's giving the details to this person, she's constantly staring at you, as if she's just fixated. Just something about you interests her.
Xalia is going to keep an eye on her. Maybe that eye will wink. Yeah, just a couple. She has enough to spare.
she has eyes and mouths to spare. All right, and the Lady Dragonborn smiles and just kind of like gets more comfortable in her seat, and waits for the next showcase. But she is always looking at Xalia now. It's almost unnerving at how her focus is now. Let's see here. The next prize is wheeled out. It is a glass vial. This appears to be some sort of elixir. It is a sort of like a not turquoise. What's the word? Sort of like a mandarin orange color. And in it there is something floating.
Tangerine?
Yeah, that's the word, tangerine. The MC proudly declares, "This potion is excellent. Let me tell you what it does. You aren't going to believe this. This potion," gives it a little swirl, "will make you the strongest person this side of Corsair. I tell you the truth. This potion was made from a fire giant." He's making this noise by himself. Guaranteed to bulk you up without the exercise required. No! Instantly. Oh. Your mileage may vary. Please start the bidding at 100 gold. And whoever would like to join in on this fire giant potion strong thing. Anybody?
Nope.
Let me tell you, this old guy wants it.
Oh, good. Though, actually, I feel like... So Xalia is just, like, staring back, like, just meeting the gaze of the Dragonborn now, right?
Not exactly.
Oh, okay.
But she's disinterested watching because she's not allowed to magic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she literally has, like, about a third of her eyes on the Dragonborn lady.
All right. Would any players like this potion? This potion of fire giant?
Nah.
Zoaz is not interested.
Okay.
while the bidding's happening, can I try to like hold on, how far away can I do this? How far away is the Dragonborn lady?
The Dragonborn, probably like it's not quite to scale. She's maybe 100 feet.
Oh, okay, never mind. Darn.
I mean,
I'm out of range.
If you want to get closer, you're not like you're not locked into your seats. You don't have shackles or anything.
Hey, but kind of, it'd bring attention.
Okay.
Once you sit down, you may never move.
All right. In the interest of time, then, this auction proceeds. Since none of the players want it, it's less exciting, I think. It's going the old person here is going to put up a ferocious bidding war with the blonde woman across the way. This small, like, little mouse of a woman with glasses on is very fervently betting and getting into it. Like, she's very energetic and just battling down with this old person. Finally, it goes to the blonde woman across the way, who outbids them by about 15 gold. Thank you very much. And next, we have NRP. It touches your heart, it touches my heart, it touches everyone's heart, including Merchant King Zonrune, I happen to know, who also does enjoy a pretty drawing. Everyone, feast your eyes on pictures! And out is wheeled a sort of like a wall painting. Something that you would hang on a wall. It's a couple feet by a couple feet. It's difficult to tell from where you're at. And here is depicted it's a landscape of a waterfall. Above, there's floating islands in the sky. There's a waterfall coming off of one of the islands, and this is actually rather peculiar in that this waterfall is moving. It is an animated picture, which is very surprising because pictures don't move. The MC explains this magical painting, this wonderful painting will brighten any foyer, will brighten any living room, will brighten any hallway, anything where you put this out. It will brighten because, let me tell you, this paint is vibrant. I tell you the truth. That is how this is able to move on its own. This is a vibrant art piece. And you'll excuse me if I name drop. It is by the illustrious artiste Vera, and like his voice actually echoes like Vera. Some of you may know this name as the excellent maestro who pens, draws, paints many things across the continent. Their reach is far and wide. Everyone is clamoring to get her art, and here you have before you one piece of art for the taking. We'll start the bidding at 1,000 gold, please.
Yeah, Makayla looks over to see if Pastiche has like any reaction.
Pastiche is notably more serious.
Aurelia wants it. Alright. Yeah, then I did want it too. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Alright. We will begin the bidding at 1,000 gold. Sorry if you roll over time. Dang, Aurelia is going last. Alright, Pastiche, you leap to action. What would you like to what would you like to open with?
1,005.
1,005 from the illustrious Snake. He gives you a thumbs up. The knight stands up. But I would like to hang that in my kitchen. 1010?
Cool.
Zonrune scoffs. This painting is worth more than a kitchen, my man. 1020. The merchant behind you leans forward and kind of like he acknowledges that you were quick on the draw. It's like, these people don't quite know what they're bidding for, huh? 2,000 gold, please.
Oh.
And then he's actually
Go big or go home.
Aurelia across the way actually looked like she was about to say something, but then she hears 2,000 gold and she closes her hands and like grits her teeth. It's like, which brings us back to Pastiche.
Pastiche is gonna turn around, lock eyes with the guy,
He gives you a wink.
and frown. And say nothing.
Okay. The knightly man says, raises his hand, but a kitchen's all I got, Lord Zonru. I would be happy to have this there. 1,040? I got it from I've been saving up. Zonru is appealed to, and he bows out. He's like, yeah, sure. The merchant behind you smiles. 1,050, if you don't mind. 1,050 from the gentleman in the back, sharply dressed in sharp bids. Who says else?
Sorry, did I mishear? Or did he not raise it to 2,000 last round?
He did he?
I thought that's what I heard.
I thought it was...
Wasn't it 1,010?
1,020 or something.
He said
it was
2,000.
Was it 2,000?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I am off the rails. Okay, so...
I mean, they were having a conversation over there. They couldn't hear.
The MC turns around. Excuse me, Sir Knights. The bid was at 2,000, sir. You'll have to increase the bid by a minimum of 1 gold as per the rules. I am afraid to tell you that. I do hope that you would continue to play. The knightly man licks his lips and says, "Nope, sorry. I think I'll... I'm interested in some of the other items for auction, but good night."
RP the kitchen.
Which brings us back to Pastiche.
Pastiche is going to open his bag of coins and thumb through it quickly. And say nothing, dejectedly.
Twig whispers to him, I could spot you about 25 gold if it would help.
I appreciate the offer, friend.
The well-dressed man behind you leans back and kind of like crosses his legs. And he's just wagging one of them idly. Going once! Going twice! Zonrune pops up. Excuse me, He looks over at the knightly man. I would like that painting, please. I have heard something of this Vera. Their paintings are excellent. Look, it is exquisite. Anybody would like this. He looks over at the knightly man again. 2,500 gold from me. And Merchant King Zonrune is placed back into the betting.
Oh boy.
Let's see. Pastiche. Would you like to continue bidding? Would anyone else? I mean, you can join the order at any time. Sorry, I didn't hear you, Pastiche.
Said Pastiche would love to continue bidding, but they're a little outmatched.
The merchant, the well-dressed merchant behind you, looks at Zonrune. Scratches his well-trimmed beard and gives a smile. It's a flash of his teeth, and he raises his hand. He says, "Well, seeing as I am against Merchant King Zonrune himself, let's get to the interesting part then. 8,000 gold, please. I would like that paid."
I'd like to. While they're like doing the crazy high stakes betting, Makayla would like.
It's definitely in high roller mode now.
Yeah, tap the person next to her. This guy. Just ask like, do you happen to know who exactly runs this auction?
The inspired-looking gentleman turns around and whispers back, "It's that tiefling himself there, the MC, Champagne. He runs this auction. It's sanctioned by Merchant King Zonrune, of course, but it's mostly Champagne who runs it. I suppose many years back it was Zonrune who owned it, but then he gave over the proceedings and the whole shebang to Champagne."
Yeah. And just out of nowhere, out of his goodwill, like, who is he really?
Well, I don't know that much. I do know he's been here for quite some time. He's one of the more revelrous sort. He's whatever there's a party, he's there. I suppose that's why they call him Champagne. Yeah, he's all about celebration. I heard, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that he is also behind most of the preparations for the fair. He almost runs the Homeport Festival now.
At this point, is there any tells between Champagne and Zonrune? Because in my mind, or in Makayla's mind, it's Zonrune gets the profit here at the end of the day. This is all just he's still effectively. She thinks that he still owns and runs this effectively, and that they're effectively scamming this guy, the merchant now.
Make an insight check.
Make an insight.
Yep.
Okay. No.
Okay, so you get 15. So you see this MC, this Champagne, the purple tiefling. He's smiling and twirling about on the sands, just making a big show of this art. He's waving his hands in front of it, palm up, just showing off different portions, gazing in awe, and he's always gesturing with his hands. He's making a huge show of this. He doesn't seem to be casting any kind of curious glances toward anyone in particular. He's always got this smile on, so you're not really able to as far as looking for that thing. There's no confirmation of that. He seems to be very enthralled in the delight of the show.
Okay.
You do recall that this is a charity auction. which would mean not necessarily anyone would profit on it except for the poor people. Or whoever, not necessarily poor people, or like whoever would be the recipient of this charity.
I did forget it was a charity auction.
Makayla remembers that it's a charity auction and feels slightly embarrassed, but only to herself. Maybe she doesn't, but the bidding is now in the tens of thousands of gold now. And while you were having this conversation, before finally the well-dressed man behind you, Pastiche, stands up boldly, and his voice booms out. 20,000 gold. I have someone who would very much like to see that painting. Please. No one else bet. His voice booms throughout through the arena, and Pastiche should look back at him, or perhaps everyone looks back at him, and there's like a puff. Someone whispers, "Please no magic." Oh, sorry, my friend, my good man. It was just a thaumaturgy, just a booming voice. You see, I understand. Please no magic. I apologize. Zonrune looks defeated. He publicly declared how much money he has on him, and he can't increase it from there. And in the interest of whatever Zonrune's interests are, raises his hand and bows out. The merchant, the well-dressed merchant behind you, Pastiche, wins the prize. He gets the art piece. There's another person collecting his details. Yes, Nezev Monaco. And please send it to my estate in Durlusk. I have someone that would like to see it, please. Let's see. Pastiche, Twig. Oh, actually, Zoaz, Twig, and Pastiche roll a history check.
Yes.
Alright, Twig and Zoaz. And Pastiche. You all recognize that this name is Zev Monaco. He is a merchant prince of the Durlusk nation.
I see.
He doesn't venture out much, but it seems that he's here for some reason. Perhaps this is the reason. And he sits back down, and the auction continues. There is a cheer from the people in the stands. The bidding's going wild. There is one more item that we would like to showcase, if you don't mind. Everyone, please give me your attention, give me your eyes, give me your ears. I am Champagne, and I am here to tell you that the next item that we have on display is a rather curious belt. A belt that's wheeled out, and it has many cats, or like images of, sorry, not many cats, many images of cats adorned on it. The belt buckle is a cat. This is Belt of Cat. Really? Is that what it's called? Looks at the notes. Learns about Belt of Cat. Belt of Cat, everyone! If you lay this equipment, this gear, this pants holder upper on the ground, let me tell you, the strangest thing will happen. A cat will be compelled to sit in the center of it, as if they were charmed. They cannot resist it. They are compelled to sit on the belt. And then let me tell you, when this happens, whoever wears this belt after the cat has blessed the belt, you can become a cat yourself. I tell you what, I wouldn't mind having this. Bidding will start at 50 gold.
Sorry, did you just say you become a cat after a cat has sit on it and then you wear the belt?
That's right, my dear woman. He kind of like double points to you at Makayla. That's right, absolutely, you are the very definition of correct. The bidding is 50 gold. Perhaps you would like to bet on becoming a cat. Anyone would like this. You can become the king or queen of your domain.
Xalia shapeshifts into a cat person.
Zonrin, kind of like, oh, this is excellent, in his Zonrin voice. The fish person would also like to be a cat.
Makayla is dumbfounded. She's like, what? Who made this item?
Dang.
The merchant behind you would also like to be a cat. Alright. The fish person. 55 gold. The well-dressed merchant. 56, please. And the priest next to Zonrun. 60 gold. I would like to be a cat, please. Which brings us to Twig.
Twig stands up and says, I'm not walking away from this auction empty-handed. And then he looks in his purse and closes it and sits back down and says nothing.
Poor guy!
Okay, Xalia.
Xalia has realized that it's already out of her price range, so she just kind of sits down.
Okay. Let's see here. And the fish person. I would like to be a cat wearing a belt. I think we can all see why. 80 gold. Twig, you get a whisper in your ear. Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice that you made a proud declaration, but then sat back down. Is something amiss, my good chap?
Well, just some monetary concerns. You know how it is. Or maybe not.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think this guy explicitly does not know how it is.
His reply is, I know how that is. Excuse me, MC. Let's cut to the chase. 200 gold, please. The priest says 201. Twig, would you like to bid?
No, thank you.
Okay. Xalia would. No, wait. Would you like to re-enter bidding?
No, she's given up at this point.
Okay.
This area behind us, is it like a
Yep,
raised
Xalia.
area?
It's kind of like a tent or a curtain.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The fish priest raises the price by 20 gold, and then the merchant behind you, Twig. You hear the voice again. Look, I would really like this. 500 gold, please, if you don't mind.
Makayla is losing her mind. She cannot comprehend why people are spending this much gold on this cat belt.
I think it makes sense.
Please let me be a cat. And then going once. Going twice. Everyone sits down. Going 3 times. Sold to the well-dressed gentleman in the back. I believe that is Mr. Monaco. Thank you very much. I think that's all for today. Let us bid each other goodbye, and we'll see you next time on the charity auction. And then he seems to be looking toward like some kind of direction that doesn't make sense because there's no people. See you next time on the auction channel. Goodbye. And...
Wait, okay. Before they move or take the belt away, Makayla is too curious. She's gonna cast Detect Magic and try and look at the belt.
Okay, the belt is magical.
Is it actually? Okay.
It is wreathed in an aura of magic. Let's see. Let's get to the chase. Everyone gets their items. We'll say like outside, in the interest of time, since we started late today. So everyone's outside, and you can see Merchant Prince Nazev receiving his items. The Bronze Lady Dragonborn receives her spellbook. She looks at it, smiles, looks around, and just kind of like smiles and holds it to her chest, walking away. There's somewhat of a radiant glow across her scales as the sun hits her scales at just the right moment. It makes her seem like she's glowing, as she's just so happy.
I mean, I would still have detect magic. Is the notebook? Does it actually have?
There are.
I guess I wouldn't be able to know based off
the spellbook wouldn't generate a magic thing, but you can sense like little twinges of magic coming off of it.
Okay.
But the spellbook itself is more on the pages are.
Yeah, makes sense.
Let's see here. And then Nazev, actually, he waves. He seems to be looking around for Twig. Excuse me. You. Kenku gentlemen. Pardon me. May I have your ear for a moment?
Yes, of course. Mr. Monaco?
That's me. Yes. Mr. Monaco is fine indeed. Here. You won this.
I did?
Yep. Enjoy. He smiles. Gives you a little flash.
Is it the cat belt?
Yeah, he hands you the belt of cat.
Twig just holds it in his hands and looks up at Nazev. Thank you so much. I don't know what to say.
Well, you're welcome is a good start.
You're welcome.
Indeed. Indeed, my good man. Enjoy luring cats to yourself and becoming a cat. I'm sure you'll have many a caper. And you seem to be friends with that snake gentleman. Tell him I apologize, but the out's mine. He's welcome to see it anytime he's in Durlusk.
Yes, well, I'm sure I'll find a good use for this belt, and I hope you enjoy the art. So thank you very much.
Indeed, it is from a special someone for a special someone, I'm sure. Goodbye. And then he dips. Make a perception check, though. Okay. While you're talking to him, there seems to be some sort of swirl in his golden eyes. Just
swirl.
Yeah, some sort of ambient swirl. Like his eyes are, like the irises of his eyes are not static. Like they are constantly swirling.
Okay.
It's an interesting phenomenon, but he doesn't make mention of it. He doesn't try to explain it, but. And then he bids you goodbye.
Twig waves friendly to him. Friendly?
Amicably?
Amicably. And would Pastiche be nearby?
Probably, yeah.
You can see Pastiche slinking onto the scene.
Twig's gonna walk over to Pastiche and say, "You wanted that painting, right?"
You could say that.
Well, I did catch that Nazev there did live in Durlusk, and we were headed that way anyway. So there's always a chance we could acquire it.
Well,
if it's that important to you.
Pastiche is kind of taken aback at the suggestion. We can always make time.
What luck, now you can have 3 birds with 1 stone.
Makayla is just so, like, she just can't wrap her head around, like, that kind of wealth. And she's just like, head in her hands, just like trying to comprehend being able to just throw away that much money for a cat belt.
Welcome to Cora's there, Makayla.
How?
And she's just like, what an obscenely gaudy affair. I bet that man could have brought a banana onto that stage and sold it for 100,000 gold.
Cody, how loudly is Twig saying that?
Just a pastiche.
Okay. Zoaz probably did not hear it with a perception roll of 13, is what I'm going to say.
Yeah, you can say Makayla was talking over it.
Yeah, exactly. Makayla was being loud enough that Zoaz didn't pick it up. Zoaz will remember this. Or not.
Xalia, make a history check.
Okay.
Trying to sell that banana. Let's go.
Look, Champagne could probably sell a banana. That's a really good roll, actually.
No kidding.
Xalia, this as you're watching this dragonborn lady exit with her tome, the radiance that she gives off, you realize that that's not the sun that's doing it. There is a particular phenomenon that you've experienced before of someone who someone who got very glowy and radiant when they were very happy and excited. This is a similar phenomenon.
Yep. Right. That yeah, she was already thinking that.
Okay, making sure. Sorry, I saw you with this.
Okay. So she's probably just gonna start following the Dragonborn without consulting anyone else.
Okay, and she is definitely hopping on a raptor and dipping out of town.
Let's see if Makayla is too distracted.
Where did Xalia go?
She's just lost in her own world.
Her own frustrated world.
Yeah.
As you're heading towards Horizon's Gate with your business concluded, you manage to see Xalia. She's waiting there at the gate as well, watching this lady dragonborn ride off into the sunset, apparently. Unless you have anything else that you would like to accomplish before you head out with King and Korokon.
Zoaz is going to remind everyone that they have business to attend to with King and Korokon. Very, very conspicuously.
Chuman has to get his ammunition before going to see King.
Understandable,
friend. Yeah, since I don't use these at all, you can have 20 arrows.
Makayla's just carrying them around.
Yeah, I mean, it's starter kit, and I don't use a bow. I use rock.
Makayla hands you some arrows, Chuman. She clearly has rocks that she would like to use instead of arrows.
Yeah, I'd rather use my wisdom to attack instead of dex.
I can't believe Pastiche rejected my trade request.
Wait.
Chuman needs the arrows, not
the world is in chaos.
Wait, who did I?
Don't worry about it. I'll fix it in post. Are there any other preparations you would like to make before you head off? Can I show you the thing that took me like an hour to make?
I'd like to spend some of my regular people money on like another. If I could find like another potion of healing somewhere.
Yeah, easy enough. You can find an apothecary. They're selling quite a few potions, but you instantly spot a potion of healing there on the shelf. You grab it down, say how much for this. They say 50 gold.
I say deal. Trade.
All right, go ahead and place that in your inventory.
Yeah.
Man, I really did get scammed by that.
I'll just be overall refilling my arrows and then the crossbow bolts.
Okay.
Since I have that now.
All right. Any preparations that you would like to purchase? Definitely.
We can do that.
Yeah,
post.
just like mark it off and then put it in your inventory. You don't have to quiz me for it. Just any basic adventuring gear is easily attainable, and some minor magic items if you really want. So you head towards Horizon's Gate. King spots you, hollers over the group. Oi! Zoaz!
Zoaz perks up, looks over.
It's Kang waving. Korokon appears to be engaged in a mighty duel with one of the Dunestriders. There's a group of Dunestriders sitting down. They're at a table. One of them is seated, holding a hand of cards. Korokon is also holding a hand of cards. They appear to be engaged in deep mortal combat.
Zoaz is going to bring the group over and say, "Well, I believe we have finished up with our business. Any stragglers I have informed of our destination."
Bailey isn't paying attention. She's literally just staring out the gate.
I will go to collect my own steed. I believe you can inform the rest of the group as to what exactly they are getting into. I think I know well enough.
Yes, everyone gather around. We are going to take this shipment. It is already loaded on Korokon's Raptor here. It is 2 private items, you understand. We are going to take it to Olga, the capital city. Luxnox, as I'm sure you know very well, Twig. We're going to take it there. We're going to present it to Queen Zozore. And, well, that's all for the job, really. To help me take it there, and we will reward you handsomely from the merchant queen herself. And at this, his statement is punctuated with a slap of the table behind him as Korokon slams his cards down and says, "Read them and weep." And there's a bunch of grunts and ruckus cheers from the Dunestriders as Korokon appears to have defeated his opponent in a battle of cards. Probably a few minutes later, Zoaz returns with his own raptor, and there are a few raptors. Each one of you, I have prepared one for you. Isn't that a happy thing? I thought it would be nice that since we are trekking across the desert, it wouldn't make sense if only a few of us had steeds and only the rest of people were walking. No, sir, we don't cater to that sort of peculiarity around here, that specificity. Everyone is fair. You'll find out in Olga. Everything is fair. Everyone is fair. Isn't that right, Twig?
Okay.
And Ken kind of like looks at you at the corner of his eye.
That is most reassuring to hear. Look forward to this.
Alright, well, we are ready. We've been ready. Shall we depart then?
I believe that would be the most prudent course of action.
Indeed. I believe we can make some good time, especially with these trusty steeds. And he slaps the top of the raptor. Rapster? He slaps the top of the raptor.
Rapster.
That's this one's name, Rapster. In fact, you can all name your own raptors. I'm sure they would find it fun.
Go Raptor.
Short for rock lobster.
Xalia named hers.
Yeah? Just a crunch, just like a horrible, like, liquid hiss.
They're
Low growling into a chittering sound.
The raptor looks at you, like tilts its head, and then like responds with like zorgling noises.
She starts talking, like trying to have a conversation.
Oh no.
All right.
Like when you bark at your dog and it barks back.
That's precisely what's happening. All right. So without further ado, I suppose, you all hop on your raptors your mighty, trusty steeds. And you all leave Tenuto. You ride off east.
Whoa.
East towards Luxnox. East across the shimmering sands and over the dunes towards adventure, striding confidently in the direction of your dreams.
Oh no, the
wondering what will come
synchronization.
from your efforts, each of you with goals weighing on your mind. The raptors gallop toward the direction that the sun sets, even though this leg of your journey is just rising. Zoaz and King in the lead, directing the rest of the group as the brisk air blows in your faces. The smell of hot sand and the occasional grass bush upon your nose. You all ride upon your raptors on the sands, galloping through the dunes.
Cool.
Extremely good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Nice.
Heckin' awesome.
King hollers over to Zoaz and also the group, speaking a little louder. Boy, I remember passing a town not terribly far on the way in. I suppose you would know it better than I. Perhaps we can stop there for a pit stop. I suddenly have to relieve myself. This is maybe after about 4 hours of riding.
Yeah. Zoaz would probably know of this place, right?
Yeah. This is Baskar that he is referring to. It is a small little kind of rough and tumble mining town.
Good enough place for a pit stop, and Zoaz will indicate his agreement.
Alright. And that's where we'll stop for this week.
Cool.